That feeling when I just filmed the intro and I remember that my microphone was not on. Thank God I remembered, because I'd be so mad if I filmed this whole video and my microphone was not working. Hi, welcome. Today we are going to be playing with this, and this is a really fun package that I got yesterday. This is from Dede's Signature, and this is the Skewer bundle. So these are 4 mini palettes that we were going to be testing out today. Look at this package, like, isn't this so fun? And then we have the palettes and stuff on the back here. I will of course show you everything that is inside of it. Like I said, I did get this sent in PR, which I'm very grateful for. Dede's Signature is a brand that I really like. They have some really nice stuff, and their eyeshadow formula is amazing. So basically, here's what it comes packaged as, and as you can see, there are 4 mini palettes in here. They don't really look mini, but they only have 6 shades in them, so they are like very small palettes, you know, relatively, even though the size of the palette themselves are a little bit on the larger side. So let me show you the palettes, and we can figure out what it is that I want to do with these. I haven't quite, like, I don't really have much of a plan yet, so let's just kind of take it one step at a time. So the first palette here is called the Caramel Skewer palette, and when I first saw Caramel Skewer, I was like, that has to be the most neutral out of the bunch, because like caramel, I just kind of thought like oranges and browns and stuff, and I opened it, and to my surprise, there was none of that in there, and it made me so happy, because I didn't know what these palettes looked like before I, you know, got the package and I opened them. So this is such a fun color story. I'm really excited. I think that all of these are very well curated, and I like the fact that they are 6-pan palettes. The only thing that I guess I would say is that I kind of wish that there wasn't so much dead space in them. Like, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like maybe they could have made it into either a larger palette or just kind of cut some of the space. Like, there's a lot of space around there that maybe didn't have to be there. But on the other hand, I really like how the palettes look on the outside, and I'm not really mad at it. Not really mad at it. I can see some people being like kind of annoyed that there's too much dead space here, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't really mind. So yeah, this is the Exotic Skewer palette. This is probably one of my favorite color stories. I love purples together with pinks and greens, and I just think that this is just super fun. So very excited to be using that one. Next up we have the Juicy Skewer palette, which is probably the most neutral out of the bunch, I guess I would say, because it is one of the only ones that have sort of like oranges and browns. I know orange isn't a neutral, but in my book it's kind of a neutral, especially paired with browns. So yeah, I think this is really cute, and that yellow neon shade, oh, that looks so fun. Lastly, we have the Tropical Skewer palette, and this color story as well is so fun. I love the blues together with the oranges, and then like the silver and the black. Like, how cool is that? Yeah, I can't wait to use these. I think what I'm gonna do is, I think because there are 4 palettes, and that's kind of a lot, but they don't have that many shades in them, so I think doing 2 looks with these 4 palettes is going to give me a good enough idea of like what the formula is like, and I really want to pair like 2 of these palettes together and create a look. So I think that's what we're gonna go ahead and do. So I'm gonna try to figure out like which of these palettes it is that I want to pair together, because I want to make sure that, you know, the pairings are going to be like easy to work with together, but also make interesting color stories. So I think maybe I will use, what if I use the Juicy palette together with the Tropical palette? I feel like maybe these 2 could make for something kind of fun together. I feel like these mattes are gonna blend nicely, so maybe I will use these 2 together, and then I can do the other 2 together in my second look. So I think we're gonna start with that. So let's just kind of have that as a plan and then take it from there, because I feel like that's a pretty decent plan. So let's see, I'm gonna put that on the floor together with the rest of my trash, and I'm going to start by, where is my primer? Right there. I'm going to start by priming my eyes, and then we can figure out what it is that I want to do. So I also do have an affiliated code with Dede. I will have that on the screen. I think it's just Annette, but it might be Annette 10. Whatever is on the screen is the right code. Thank you if you end up using my codes anytime. It really does mean a lot, but if you don't, I don't blame you at all. Like, I never want to seem like I'm coming off as pushing my codes at all, because I really don't like when other people do that either. But I also do want to help you save money if you are interested in buying anything. I'm going to take a little bit extra of my eyeshadow primer and just put that in my inner corner, because I think I want to do that neon yellow shade in my inner corner, because I love having like a neon in there. I think that is so fun. But since it is a neon shade, sometimes they tend to have a little bit of a hard time to stick if you don't have a very tacky base, and I tend to not really take my eyeshadow primer in my inner corner because I always use a shimmer there. But today I'm definitely going to put down a little bit of extra eyeshadow primer, because like I said, I do want it to be very tacky. And I'm gonna find a, let's do this one. I'm gonna find a very kind of dense bullet brush. I'm gonna use this one from Obia. I think this is from, no, it's from Omnia, and this is the smudger brush. So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna dip into the shade called Banana, which is the neon yellow, and I cannot wait to put this on my eyes. This is gonna be so fun. And I'm going to put that in my inner corner. You could definitely do this as like your last step, but I really like doing it first if I'm gonna do something like this, especially if it's a matte, because I wanna make sure that I have room for this still, because sometimes my looks get a little bit out of hand, and sometimes I take my crease shades in too far and stuff, so I just wanna do this just to make sure that I get enough of this on my eyes that I'm happy with it when the look is done. But this is really pretty. I wouldn't exactly call it a neon on the eyes, but I think if you were to use a white base with this, it would probably come off a little bit more neon. But I am not someone who likes to use a white base. I find it just kind of annoying to work with, so I'm just gonna do this. And right now it's just looking like a beautiful yellow, and I am not mad at that at all. Like, that is super fun. I love a yellow inner corner highlight. I think that is just very cool. I might layer some kind of a shimmer over the top because I do prefer having shimmers in my inner corner, but for now, we're gonna leave it like this, and then I think what I'm gonna do next, let's see. There's a lot of colors that are gonna look really, really nice together. I'm thinking I wanna base my look around the shimmers, so in this one we have an orange shimmer and a silver shimmer, and then this one we have more of a, not a neutral shimmer, this is definitely a duochrome. This is kind of a gold to pink, I guess I would explain this. I haven't swatched these yet, even though you've already seen the swatches. Yeah, this is definitely a duochrome. It might even be a multichrome. It has a very strong pink to green shift. So I feel like that's gonna go very nicely with really whatever mattes it is that I end up using. I don't think I wanna use the blues in this look per se, but I think I wanna use kind of the rest of them. So what if I do like a 3-tone crease? Maybe that could be kind of fun. So I think I'm gonna dip into the shade here, which is called Muskmelon. This is in the Tropical palette. And I'm gonna be placing that basically in the middle of my crease here. That is very bright. Wow. That definitely shows up a lot more like a neon than the first shadow did. Wow, I love that. That is really, really fun. Just gonna gently blend that into the yellow here and then make sure that I blend it into my crease as well. I know I said I was gonna do a 3-tone crease, but I don't think that really counts. I don't think the inner corner really counts as a crease shade. It's definitely more of a inner corner shade, but I'm gonna take this about 2/3 of the way out or so, just so I have room for like another shade in the outer portion. But this is laying down very, very nicely. I do feel like it's the kind of formula that you probably need a tacky base for though. Yeah, this is so fun. I'm gonna kind of work on the blends as we go. I'm not gonna be too fussed with how this is looking at the moment. I'm probably gonna do the same thing under my eye, but I just wanna put down the crease colors before we do that. So I think for the outer portion, I'm gonna use the raspberry shade here. This is in the Juicy palette. So I think we're gonna go kind of yellow, orange, pink. So I'm gonna take this shade. I probably use this one on my lid, and then maybe a little bit of the silver. I'm not sure if that's gonna go, but we'll see what happens. So I'm gonna start with the shade called Raspberry. I'm just gonna take that on the same brush here that I sort of wiped off a little bit, but it's not super clean, but that's okay. Look how pink that is. I'm going to take that in the outer portion of my crease as well as in the outer corner of my eye, and I probably am going to deepen this up a little bit. Not sure if I want to use the black or not. I know, shocking. I know, it's so hard for me not to use a black because I love black eyeshadow, but I think that I want this to be a very bright look. I don't think I want this to be like a, I mean, it's gonna be dramatic, but I don't think I want it to be like dark. So I think we're just gonna do these colors. Look how beautiful these are together. They just blend so nicely. And they're so pigmented. Okay, I think I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing underneath my eye, just so we can sort of keep it the same. So you can definitely see the difference here with how they perform under my eyes. Like in my crease here, it's very vibrant compared to under my eye, which it's not as vibrant as it is where I did put it on a sticky base. I obviously don't have any eyeshadow primer underneath my eye. So it's always a good way to sort of compare and see how all formulas work. But you can still see that they're sticking very nicely. It's just they're not as bright as they would have been if I had put down some eyeshadow primer. But this looks really, really fun. So I'm just gonna kind of work on blending the edge here, and then we can use some of the shimmers. I'm not sure how many yet that I want to use, but I definitely want to try to use like 2 of them. I think I'm probably going to use, do I really want to jam 3 shimmers on my eyes? Do I really want to try that? I guess sure, why not? So I'm gonna start with this shimmer right here, which is called Apricot, and I think that looks so pretty. That's beautiful. I don't think I want to spray this because even though this is a kind of metallic shade. I don't want it to be like super intense. Hang on, let me just find the right brush. I'm gonna use this one. I don't want this to be super intense because I want to sort of blend this into the matte that I have on the outer corner. So I'm just gonna use that dry just as a bit of a transition between the shimmer and the matte here. Wow, this is actually like a very metallic red shade. Those are tough to come by. She did a really, really good job with this. Considering that I'm putting this on my eye completely dry, this looks really, really nice and is blending into that matte beautifully. I really like this. I think that this is going to end up being a very, very fun look. So I'm basically just using this as a bit of a outer corner deepening shade without like deepening it up too much. I just wanted to try out more shimmers here. So I think next what we're going to do is we're going to take the Tropical Skewer palette and I'm going to take the orange here, which is called Tangerine. This one is not as foiled, I would say. It's a little bit more of a drier formula. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just spray this a little bit because right now I don't know where my glitter primer is. So I'm gonna, why can I never find anything? I'm gonna spray this a little bit with some Fix Plus here just to get it nice and intense. And that's gonna go in the middle of my lid. This is a beautiful orange. I really like orange shimmers. And it's just gonna go so nicely with that crease shade as well. Yeah, you can definitely see that it's getting more metallic now that I've sprayed it, which I do like. And it's also going to blend very nicely into that red shimmer. This is just looking so seamless. I really like pairing like shimmers that are exactly the same color as a matte together because it just makes it so much easier. Okay, and then for the inner portion, I'm just wiping off my brush again because I am lazy. Just making sure I don't have too much excess product. And we're gonna take the shade called Strawberry, which was this duochrome. This one is insane. Like, I don't know how this is going to look on the eyes because it has such a strong sort of greenish gold shift to pink shift. And I don't know if maybe I should have used this like all over my lid or something, but this is probably going to be the star of the show and one of the best shades in this collection if I had to guess. Like even on the brush, I see the duochrome like so strongly. I am going to spray this as well if I can find my Fix Plus that I put right in front of me. It's gonna give this a nice spritz and we're just gonna put that in the front portion here. I might take that over the shade that I just put down a little bit. That is so pretty. Like I kind of feel bad for not making this a star of the show and using more of it, but I just wanted to make sure I used a lot of shade. This is so metallic and so pretty. Ooh, I love that. Oh, that's so pretty. I could stare at that all day. So I think this is what I'm going to do for the shadows. I'm probably going to go ahead and finish off and we can see what the look ends up looking like. Like I said, I might end up layering something in my inner corner, just like a yellow highlighter or something like that. But so far, this is looking beautiful, and I think that this is going to be a very, very fun look. Maybe I'll pair this with like a bright lipstick, just because that's fun too. So let me go ahead and finish off, and I will show you what the look is like. And this is how I decided to finish off, and I love this look. I think this is so bright, it's so summery, it's so fun. It's just, I love this. Let's see, what did I do to finish off? I know I said I was going to use a very bright lipstick, but I did realize that I bought one from Jaclyn Hill that I still have not used, and I wanted to try it. And this formula is very interesting. What is this one even called? This is in the shade Last First Kiss, and it's the lip cushion texture mousse lipstick. I don't know, but that kind of explains the formula. It's very moussey, like it's kind of thick but moussey at the same time. It's very comfortable. It was a little bit hard to get like a good application with it, I felt like. I didn't love the applicator. It's one of those kind of like doe foots with it's hard to explain. Let me just kind of show it to you. I guess it's pretty basic, but I found it with this formula in particular to kind of like go everywhere. It was a little bit hard to get like a nice crisp line. Maybe it's just because the formula is so moussey. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. I like how it looks though. I will say, once I've got it on and like it's dried down a little bit, it's definitely not like transfer proof. I definitely have some transfer still, but I like how it looks. It was a bit of a process to just get it to look good when I put it on, but I think it looks okay. I think I like it, but I need to make up my mind on it. My highlighter today is actually an eyeshadow from Terra Moons. This is in the shade Astral. It's one of the iridescent chameleons, and I love using these as highlighters. I think that they are just really, really fun. In my waterline, I went with a very, very light yellow from Colourpop. This is in the shade Extra Frosting. I don't know if this is available anymore. My blush today is of course from Odenside. This is in the shade Ripe Papaya, which is one of my favorites, and I just thought it would be nice and bright and fun to go with this nice and bright and fun look. So that's basically going to be it for look number 1. Let's see, next time we are going to be using these 2 palettes. These are going to be really, really fun together. I cannot wait. I don't know what I want to do, but these 2 are also just so bright and so fun, and I think I definitely want to use the purple there. I probably want to use the shimmer, which reminds me a lot of one of the shimmers in the It's Belle Cosmetics palette. That's exactly the same color. So maybe I'll use something else, but that is so beautiful. That's really, really pretty. I cannot wait. Can't wait to play more with these. So let's just go ahead and jump into the second look. Okay, so we are getting into the second look, and I just realized I switched up my backdrop while I was in the middle of filming a video. So here we are, 2 different backdrops in one video, but it's fine. I used to love this one. I had this one on last year for quite some time. I think I used this backdrop for like a couple of months, and I really like it. Like, it's very, very out there, but like, so am I. So it's fine. I'm excited to have it back, and it's gonna be a good time. I need to bring my fall backdrop back soon though, but I think it's a little too early for that, especially since it's still like 100 degrees out. So I'm gonna wait until at least it's starting to feel like fall here in Vegas before I pull out my my fall backdrop, because I love that one. Do you remember that one? Have you been around since last year when I had the fall backdrop with like the forest and the trees in the background? Oh, I love that one. The colors are just magnificent. Is it maybe a little bit distracting from the makeup? Sure, but I don't care because I think it looks so good. Also, if my foundation looks too dark today, it's because it is. I got a foundation sent from, where did I put that? Oh geez, okay, right here. From Laura Mercier. This is the Flawless Luminaire Radiance Perfecting Foundation. As you can see, this is not my shade. This is not my shade at all, but I wanted to try it, and I had to put on a lot of very brightening concealer, and so I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to get like a proper wear test with this, but I'm still gonna test it out. But if it looks a little bit dark, that's why. Let's go ahead and get into these palettes. So we are going to use the Caramel Skewer in this look, which is this one. I'm so excited about this color story. We're also going to use this one, which is the Exotic Skewer. I don't know what I want to do. There's so many beautiful colors in this, and when I look at the shimmer, I'm like, that's so pretty. So pretty. So I'm going to try to figure out a fun color combination. Let's see, do I want to do something that's not going to clash too much with my lipstick? Probably not, but we'll see what happens. I might have to change this after, but I really just wanted to try it. This is also a product that I was sent from Laura Mercier. They keep sending me so much PR, and I'm like, like, that's so fun. So this is one of the Caviar lipsticks. This one is in the shade Clique. It's a matte lipstick, and it comes in one of these kind of pen things like they have in the real Caviar sticks. So they're basically the same thing, except these are lipsticks and these are like for eyeshadow. So far, I really like it. It's like I said, it's a very matte formula. Is it transfer proof? Yeah, I just put it on. It's pretty much transfer proof. I'm still playing around with these. I haven't really like had a good wear test with them because I don't tend to wear my lip products that often, but I do plan on wearing this for a while today. So we'll see how it wears, but so far, love the color of this, and I also like the formula a lot. It's so easy to apply. I love small lipsticks that I can be precise with, that I don't need to use a lip liner with, because my lips are very small, and when I overline, I need to be able to be precise. So what am I gonna do today? There are so many beautiful colors in these palettes, and I kind of want to use all of them. So maybe what I'll do is I'll decide on the shimmers that I want to use first, and then kind of build a look around the shimmers. So let's see, can I kind of pull this back here without breaking the palette? Now you can see both. So this is definitely the lightest shimmer, so I'm probably going to use that like in the front portion of my lid as my inner corner shade, and then to blend into that one, it doesn't really make sense to use like the greens, so maybe I'll use these two like on my lid. Do I maybe want to use a little bit of the green as well? I'm not sure how that is going to look. Maybe if I do like a two-tone crease, and I'll do sort of like greens in the front portion and then blend it into like purples or something. This one is not having it. I don't know. Let me think about that and see what it is I want to do. I'm going to try to use a lot of these shades at least. Okay, let's just go crazy. I'm going to start with this one in the front portion of my crease. This is the shade called Moonball Grapes. And this reminds me of... what are those grapes called? Cotton candy grapes? Is there anything called cotton candy in any of these? I don't think so, but cotton candy grapes are so good. Such a tangent, but anyway. I'm gonna put this in the front portion of my crease here, and I'm gonna deepen this portion up with one of the darker greens. But first I just wanna put this down and see how this is going to look. And I think that the sort of pinky green duochrome is going to look nice with this, since it does have a green shift to it. I think they're going to blend quite nicely together. So I'm gonna take that about halfway. I barely had to put that on my eye. That is so pigmented. That looks beautiful. Dede has some really, really nice bright mattes. I really like their matte formula. Yep, that looks very nice. I'm also going to take some of this underneath my eye, just in the front portion here, just so we can have it be the same on the top and the bottom. So I'm noticing with this shade that it's not sticking as well underneath my eye as it is in my crease, obviously, since I don't have any eyeshadow primer down under my eye. And that totally makes sense because this is a very bright sort of neon-y shades, and usually those need a bit more of a tacky base, which I probably said in my first look as well, but I just thought that I would point it out. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go into, I think, one of the pinks. And I'm probably going to use this one. So this is the shade called Peach. This is from the same palette, and I'm going to basically use that in the outer portion of my crease, as well as a little bit on my lid as well. Just going to blend these two colors a little bit together. I don't want to blend them too much because they are going to get a little bit muddy, because these two colors aren't really the best for blending together here. So I'm just going to kind of tap over a little bit here, and I'm also going to take this underneath my eye, just connected with the other shade that I put down. And this brush is way too big for this. Like, why did I choose this brush? Probably because all of my Rephr 13s were dirty, and this is the 14, and it's a little bit big for what I prefer in my crease brushes, or just in general. Especially for using like very bright shades, I do prefer something that is a little bit more precise, just so that I can make sure it doesn't get out of hand at all. Whereas if I were to use like a neutral or a very like light transition shade of some sort, then I definitely don't mind using a brush this big. But when I do want to be a little more precise, I do prefer something that's just a little bit smaller. But I know for a lot of people, like, this brush is very small. It's just that I have very small eyes. So just gonna go ahead and finish up with this, and then we're gonna deepen up both of these colors with basically corresponding colors. So I'm probably going to use a purple to deepen up the pink with, and then use a darker green to deepen up the green. But this is looking very, very nice. Okay, we're going to move into the other palette now, and I'm going to take the shade here called Avocado, and I'm going to take that on the same brush that I used the light green with. If you're someone who doesn't like a lot of kick up in your eyeshadows, you would probably really like this formula, because these are pressed a little bit harder than some other indie brands, and it makes it so that there's barely any kick up in the pan at all. So I'm just using this to sort of deepen up the front portion of the green a little bit. I mean, that worked so well, and I feel like I pulled that over a little bit too much, and now it's looking a little bit muddy. But we're gonna see if I can sort of cover that up with a little bit of the purple and just blend the purple into the green a little bit, because I don't want this to look muddy at all. But like, these are working so nicely together. Yeah, I love that. I think I'm just gonna keep it bright green underneath my eye here and like not deepen up the front portion, but maybe I will in a little bit. I'm gonna see kind of where this look ends up. This might end up being kind of a crazy look, but it's fun. So I'm gonna take the shade here called Pomelo. Pomelo? What is that? Pomelo. Like, I'm sure it's some kind of fruit, but I can't put my finger on what that is. This is it doesn't really say on the front, does it? It could be anything. I don't know, but I'm gonna take this shade here, and I'm gonna use that to basically deepen up the pink that I put down. So I'm gonna start in the outer corner of my eye here and just put this down where it is that I want it to be, and then blend it into my crease, and also blend it together a little bit with the greens here, but not too much, just enough that, you know, they kind of meet together here. And don't worry, I know it's looking a little bit messy just like in the middle here, but once I get the shimmers on, I think that they're going to cover up most of what is not looking that great. So I think it's going to come together. I am going to take this underneath my eye though, just in the same spot that I had the pink. I think this is about where it is that I want this to be. And then we're going to do some glitter primer. Just going to put that all over my lid where I want my shimmers to be. And I'm gonna start with the one in the Caramel Skewer palette, this one, which is called Passion Fruit. This one looks so stunning. I cannot wait to put this on my eyes. I'm gonna start that in the middle and just drag it out. That is so beautiful and metallic. Oh yeah, I love it already. Oh, that's so pretty. Man, this look is gonna be crazy. But I am living for it. And then we're gonna go into the Exotic Skewer palette, and I'm gonna grab the shade called Chico, which is this one. I can't wait to use this. Like, I've used shades like this in the past. The one in the It's Belle Cosmetics palette that I probably mentioned earlier is like so similar, but like, see how green that pulls. Like, isn't that insane? Like, in the pan it looks pink, but on the eyes, like, it has such a strong green shift that I knew that this would look very nice together with this green, because the green really pulls out the green in this color and makes it look a lot more green, and depending on what you use it with is going to kind of pull differently. And it's also going to just blend very nicely into the color that I just used as well. That looks so cool. I love this. Maybe this lipstick actually kind of goes with this look, even though it's obviously a lot. But I don't care. I love that shimmer. Look how beautiful that is. Oh, this is so cute. Okay, I'm going to leave it like this. I love it. I'm gonna finish off. I'll come back and I will show you the look and we can talk about these palettes a little bit more. Okay, so the look is done. To finish off, I did some green in my waterline. This is Ectoplasm from Lethal Cosmetics. It's one of the liners that Teresa did in collaboration with them. Did I just say did 2 times in a row? Maybe I did, but it made sense. Wow. Okay. Other than that, I just did some mascara and really nothing else. I did do a little bit of inner corner highlight, which is Electric from Bitter Lace Beauty, my favorite highlighter in my collection. If you're wondering what is on my face, the rest of my face, I'm using 2 palettes from Juno & Co. I've had these for quite some time. These are face palettes. I did get both of them sent in PR and I just haven't used them in a long time. So I wanted to use them today because I just wanted to get some more use out of them. And these are beautiful. Like, this is the one with the bronzer that I used. This is in the shade Le Papillon. I'm saying that incorrectly, I am fully aware, but this is beautiful. I've been wearing this highlighter so much lately. Like, this is so beautiful. I kind of wish I used it today, but I wanted to use the highlighter in the other palette. So this is the palette that I used the blush and I used this highlighter, and I love these palettes. I really need to use them more. Like, these are so beautiful. Like, this would be the perfect travel palette with like a blush, a highlighter, and a bronzer, because all of these work very nicely for my skin tone. And I need to pull this out more, just like keep it on my desk, because I really do like these. And I also really like these palettes. Like, I like all of these. I think these are beautiful, really nice quality. I mean, the shimmers are out of this world. The mattes are super easy to work with. I don't have any complaints at all with these. I think that if there is one that you are interested in, you're gonna love it. I think that if you buy them all, you're probably gonna love them all, because these are really nice, and I'm so happy that I have them. Thank you, Dede, for sending these over. Your eyeshadow formula is amazing. I really enjoy working with them, and the color stories are just so fun as well. Like, they're fun and colorful and bright. And I love that. Like, I love that so much. I love that there was not a single neutral palette in this whole collection. That makes my heart so happy. So that's basically going to be it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you've tried Dede's. I would love to hear your thoughts down below, or if you plan on trying them, or if there's anything that you are eyeing. Maybe the color stories aren't perfect for you yet, but I'm sure they will come up with something in the future that is going to be perfect. So that's going to be it for today. Like I said, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see some other multiple look videos I have on my channel, here's my playlist. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.